I love thinking about how Ahsoka and Sabine will eventually find Ezra if we do get that rumored Star Wars Rebels sequel series. Sometimes I wonder if it will even be a big part of the Dave Filoni story. In the past, I've suggested that Sabine and Ahsoka will find Ezra by communicating with the Purrgil, or maybe even using Ahsoka's staff. But in my latest theory, I've picked something I believe is a little more practical, and although it's a lot less to do with the Force and a lot more to do with old-fashioned detective work, I still think you're going to find it interesting. So to start the theory off, I want to remind you of this image Dave Filoni himself drew and posted on Twitter. Clearly, we see Ahsoka Tano and Sabine Wren in a horrendously cold and frozen planet. I've suggested in the past that those steps were leading them to a Jedi temple, but what if they are actually on the Chiss homeworld? I mean, wouldn't it make sense that these two decide to head off to find Chiss space in search of Thrawn or any clues about where Thrawn might be? It certainly seems like as good a place to start as any. But getting back to Filoni's cold image, the Chiss homeworld was actually an icy world according to Wikipedia. It states, according to Chiss legend, their homeworld was a once warm and tropical planet. However, the planet was later locked in an ice age with profound glaciation encompassing the world. Though it was believed that the glaciation process occurred over an extended period of time, it was also an age when the Chiss were already technologically advanced, which allowed them to overcome these challenges to their survival by way of technological adaptations. Now, I'll admit that this is legend, so take it with a grain of salt, but remember, Thrawn and the Chiss were legends before Filoni brought them back to canon. So we could very well see an icy Chiss homeworld, one that Ahsoka and Sabine find themselves on. But exactly how would they find that planet? Well, Redditor Throwaway Ewok has mentioned in his rumor post that the Rebels sequel show will show us quite a bit about the New Republic in the beginning, and I've always wondered why exactly this would be. But it would make a lot of sense if Sabine and Ahsoka were contacting people in the New Republic and trying to track down information on the Chiss and Thrawn himself. I mean, the Chiss as a race aren't very well known, but hey, Eli Vanto had heard about them, so certainly there should be some travelers or scholars who could give Sabine and Ahsoka some important information and point them in the right direction. Of course, the one flaw in this theory is that this is the search for Ezra. Sabine and Ahsoka should be trying to find Ezra, not Thrawn. But I think the case can be made here that if they track down Thrawn, they're most likely going to find Ezra, or at the very least, if they find out any information regarding Thrawn, then that should help them find Ezra. But now let's move on to some amazing community theories on the subject of finding Ezra. Chris Skywalker suggests they'll have a search in the trajectory of the coordinates that Hera mentioned at the end of Rebels and go planet to planet in that direction. Also, Ahsoka's force powers will come in handy considering that in that point of time, she's like the new Yoda, the wisest and most powerful. And Chris, I really like this idea of the coordinates. I really got to go back and rewatch that episode. I don't remember Hera mentioning anything at the end of Rebels. That doesn't mean that Hera didn't mention anything. I just have a horrible memory. And you're absolutely right about Ahsoka's force powers. I do believe they're going to come into play at least in some way in this search. But let's move on to Ifidal285. He or she has a great Chopper theory. The comment reads, Chopper may very well tell Ahsoka and Sabine where to get Ezra. He kept the first message from Ezra a secret from the crew and knew several of the details of Ezra's plan. For example, take the lightsaber, open the vent. Ezra wasn't returning and stopped the others from following him. So Chopper may just be waiting for the right time to let them know where exactly Ezra is. And I really enjoyed this theory. If Chopper was actually the key to solving this problem, it would just be amazing. But moving on here, we also have Olivia. She states, I think it will have to be something to do with the world between worlds. Ahsoka and Ezra's experience there probably strengthened their connection to each other through the Force. I think Sabine and Ahsoka will spend a couple of seasons searching the galaxy. It will come down to Ahsoka literally feeling Ezra through the Force. She'll let the Force guide her to him. And Olivia, I really like this idea. The idea of Ahsoka listening to the Force and it slowly guiding them to Ezra just makes a lot of sense to me. What exactly that looks like, I don't know, but I'm sure Dave Filoni would do a fantastic job with it. There is also the possibility that Ahsoka could see Ezra in the world between worlds. Maybe that is somewhere she returns to. But the only problem with that type of theory is that Ahsoka might actually see where Ezra is, but she wouldn't know how to get to that location. Thanks so much for all of you who actually posted in the community tab. I'll be asking questions like this at least once a week and trying to share some of your ideas in videos. Let me know what you think about these theories in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.